I'm almost hesitant to package it up and put it out there because people are going to want support. And it's like, I don't have 1,000 gallery installations that I can just test. I have this one, and I'm going to be done with it. It's not like I'm going to keep an ongoing relationship with something that I migrated away from. So there's that issue, and I do sort of hesitate to spread myself even thinner because I have so many plugins out there right now. But, I hate the idea of somebody having to spend weeks doing the same thing that I've already done. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just going to package it up and send it out.
What about donations on any of your plugins?
I get some.
Enough to pay for some?
Oh gosh, no.
Or a pizza.
Pizza?
I can pay for pizza. Yeah. Actually, I have a couple of very generous donors. I've gotten a couple of $100 donations in the past, which impressed the hell out of me, Most of them are more like 5, maybe 20. I don't get them very often. But when they do come in, it's nice, It kind of keeps me going for a week or so. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, support was going to be my answer too, as being the problem with it. We've released one plugin and it doesn't actually work with 3.0, so I wouldn't advise going out there. So it's been out there a while and we haven't updated it. But we have that one plugin out there that says it's made by RD2, and the support for it's kind of weird. Like, we got a phone call at the office one day from someone who wanted support for it, and I was like, I don't know how to help you. Yeah. So that's the one big consideration, and especially with having it out there saying it's from RD2, then it kind of represents our brand in a way. So, support.
I will say, most people are very polite and very grateful for the help that you receive, and then 1 in 100 will just be a complete dick. And you're just like, that just makes me want to not do this at all. Fortunately, it's very rare.
So Leia, let me ask you the question about donations from the other side. Do you donate? Does RD2 donate to plugin developers for plugins that you use?
We should.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, Cory, you sell plugins.
We sell them. Heck yeah.
So you know about
So
this
there's some great things about WordPress. Here's the great thing about WordPress. It's free. Here's the terrible thing about WordPress. It's free. Mm-hmm. So because you get people that don't appreciate how many hours you put into that plugin.
Absolutely.
And so these ladies have set the stage for me, and my business model and what we do at iThemes and Plugin Buddy and all that is that people do want support and they want maintenance. They want it to work with 3.0. And that's not a knock at all, because I'm here because of the free whole thing with with WordPress and all that kind of stuff. And so it's amazing, because you can see on one hand there's probably 11,000 plugins in the repository at WordPress.org, which is amazing, because you can find 5 event plugins and 5 this and 5 that. The downside is that's not a work of money and a business model. That's a work of passion. You do that because you want to help somebody, but you also have a day job and blogs to run and all that kind of stuff. Yep. And so what we found is we love and appreciate WordPress and want to give back. So we do free plugins, one of which is Server Buddy, which helps you determine if you have a crappy host, GoDaddy, or if you have security risks and all that kind of stuff. So did I get the point across? Anyway, so that does we built that for that need too, and then we've of course I built my business and all that kind of stuff, my personal brand and everything, on developing free themes. Excuse me, I'm not that smart. Remember, again, I'm just the theme person. So, but I built our business on free themes, and eventually we rolled out free plugins. So we are very much about the community. We love the community because that's why we're here, right? Because it's free, and thousands of people across the globe have donated hours of their time. But it is a downside because, and I'll tell you that people will pay for a product. Oh, yeah. Because they want to. The thing is if you put $1, if you give your hard-earned money, you take it out of your wallet and give it to somebody, you have, in America in particular, is you have a right to say, I demand service. And that's okay. But that's a cool thing, and that's why we feel very good about our business model, and it fits within the WordPress community too.
Let me ask you guys buy any plugins? Have you paid money for plugins that you guys use on your sites?
Absolutely. I paid for Gravity Forms, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Absolutely. Gravity's awesome.
Yeah.
I know Carl in that game, and they are phenomenal, do stuff at a high level.
Yeah.
And that plugin, by the way, will earn its way back several times over.
Absolutely it will. I know I've paid for others in the past, and I can't think of any off the top of my head. It's been a while. But Gravity's fantastic. Highly recommended.
Leia, any that you guys have purchased that you use that you know
I can't think of any that we've used that were purchased for any projects. I know some personal sites that I've done, I've purchased them from time to time. But yeah.
All right, Matt, you can kind of answer all those questions that we covered before we got to you.
I'll say we've purchased a developer license for Gravity Forms, and we use that on all of our sites. Love it. We recently had a need for kind of a password protected pay to get access to the site situation, and so we found a plugin. I think it's called WP Members. Is that right?
Wishlist. Wishlist.
Help me out, Aaron. Magic Members. Thank you. Yeah, Magic Members is the plugin that we found, and it works well, and our client loves it. Yeah, I mean, we're in the situation too where, like these have said, that we're happy to pay for a plugin because we know we're going to get a good quality plugin, and we're going to get somebody who's going to answer a question or two if we have one. And so in our business, that there's no problem. I have no problem paying for that.
And then about making your own plugins or packaging your plugins, is that something you guys have done or tried?
We have a couple little things that are just little, I think, things that the guys have created just to help the process take one step out of a 3-step process, and so it's not really anything that would be packageable that we would do, and we would prefer not to support it because we're super busy doing the work we're doing every day. So same kind of situation.
Yeah, I know a lot of the plugins that I build are very specific, tailored to what that client needs, and to try to generalize it, I'm always afraid of how much work it would be to make it something that more than just our client would use, and then how much time it would take to support it. So those are all valid.
And I'll tell you on the donations thing is you should do it. If there's a donation buddy and you get, or donation button, excuse me,
is that a
and
new
you get
donation buddy?
Yeah. Right now, it's up there. Golly, I only had coffee, but anyway, is you should. If you like it, you should donate. So I'm trying to think. We probably donated twice, maybe. I'll tell you, donations is not a legitimate business model. Maybe for the Salvation Army, but for plugin and theme development, software development, it's just not sustainable. And I've talked to some people that have tons of traffic, outstanding products, and I'll say, how much did you buy? And I don't know, I bought a case of beer in the last year. It's like, good, that's great. But how did you keep the lights on those 12 months out of the year? And I'll just say it. So, one, donate. If you like it, support it. The other thing is, it's not a legitimate business model in my mind.
One of my favorite plugins that I use was made by a guy who was in college, and when he graduated, there's been no updates.
Gamer Z? Lester? No? Somebody else? Okay.
Yeah. And that's just part of the nature of open source projects. So let's talk about themes. We've talked about plugins there. So when you do a client site or a site at the Writing Center or your own site, do you use existing themes from the repository? Do you buy a theme and tweak it? Do you write your own theme from scratch? Do you work with the theme framework? Talk a little bit about your strategy with themes. And Leia, we'll start with you.
I found that I was doing the same thing over and over so much that I finally created my own starter theme, which has a lot of the same functions and everything that I was using over and over again for a different size excerpt, or being able to specify the number of characters I wanted in that excerpt, and having post thumbnails and the menus that I would set up for the navigation and the footer every time. So I started that probably off of the old default theme, not the new 2010 theme.
Kubrick.
Yes, Kubrick. And from there it's evolved a bit, and it's, I think, a good place to start now.
Is that something you would ever release, that you think, or?
Probably not. It's pretty specific to the way I think when I'm setting up a WordPress site. So, I don't know if it would make sense to other people necessarily.
So, Cory, you're in a different position than Leia with themes.
Well, I started the business around my particular need is I get frustrated at IE6 bugs and chasing all that junk and everything. And so the whole purpose of what we do is to save people time and money, essentially. Time is money, right? So we fully believe in starting from a base theme so that you don't have to worry about some of the issues that come up, i.e. bugs, updates in WordPress. Did Kubrick, for instance, Kubrick and the base themes would support custom menus that came out, but all the new features and stuff like that. So my thing is, you can pull your money and buy a template and allow us to hire the experts to do all that and worry about those issues. And as a web developer, you can go out and sell websites and do what you do best, while we worry about some of the more frustrating features, I guess is what I would say. Because I didn't want to worry about, is this going to work in the next Internet Explorer 18,000, with 18,000 bugs. So, I want someone else to do that, and so it's kind of like insurance in that sense, but it also saves time and money. So that's my plea about buying a pre-made professional theme from somebody you know, like, and trust that knows their stuff.
Now what about on iThemes.com? Because you don't run one of your own themes on iThemes, or do you? It's
a custom theme, and that theme was built over 2.5 years ago, and we've used it on other sites. So we didn't use it. It was a custom theme at the time. Our premier theme was built, it's called Builder, and it was built for this thing. Is that Leia has the skill set I probably don't have. She has a deeper skill set. She can, whip up columns and all that kind of stuff in CSS and things. But Builder was built so you can easily add modules and say you want your sidebars here, or you can switch it and put your sidebars here. And all the CSS and all that stuff is taken care of. So again, saving someone like Matt and his team, they need to sell websites and get them out the door at a high level. So if you can build a site in 2 hours versus 10, but you can build for 10, or not build for 10, but build in project-oriented stuff, build for 10.
Charged by the project is what you mean, not charged by that.
Thank you, Randy. Yeah. It's all ISS and all that stuff. You just get into those mindsets. Yeah. So.
Matt, what about you guys? Do you buy themes, start with a starter theme or a theme framework, or what's your general approach?
Yeah, my guys can answer this the best, but I know right now they have both kind of developed a place where they start, and then all the stuff we're doing now is completely custom. So they really start in Photoshop and stay there for a while, and then get an idea of the layout and what they're going to do before they ever go into the coding. But like in the past, I know if we had a client that was on a real tight budget, we might go look at a theme. Themeforest is a great site that has some good themes, and we've used a couple of those in the past. And then we customize those beyond what the base is. But yeah, typically we have kind of a starter site, as you've mentioned, that really helps go get us started, and then completely customize from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk these days among developers about theme frameworks, things like Genesis, where you get option panels to set up a lot of stuff instead of having to write a lot of code. And then other theme frameworks also let you write code as a child theme. I've found that for me, a lot of the sites that we build are custom, and so getting a theme framework or one of those parent themes boxes me in too much, so we also start with a starter theme. I've been working with Randy Jensen on a starter theme that we're hoping to release. I'm a little nervous about the idea of doing that, but there's just a lot of common stuff that you do over and over, and I'll take a starter theme and modify it, and so then it's not like a theme framework where I can update the parent and keep the child theme changes, but for a lot of the work that I do, starter themes are the way to go also. Stephanie, what about for you?
I have a starter theme too that's kind of homegrown, but you won't see it on any of the sites that I'm running at A&M because most of my work there lately has been migrating sites into WordPress and writing the WordPress plugins, and so it's more of the development stuff. And we're using a lot of 2010 child themes, and then I've got the main Writing Center site is using an old version of Mimbo that I've hacked up all to pieces and completely rewritten some pages. And so my next project, now that I have all the stuff in WordPress, is going to be developing a parent theme and then a child for each of those offices that I manage. But that'll be next semester because I'm also doing some work that doesn't have anything to do with WordPress. I do the interface for this internal scheduling system that we built. And so that's going to be eating a lot of my time. So one of the things I like about WordPress is that I can kind of leave these sites once I get them going and leave them running and not have to babysit them too much. But yeah, right now they look very generic. I'm very sad about that. My freelance work looks a lot better.
Are those sites, when you say you want to use a parent theme, are they similar in structure and functionality?
Yeah, they're all basically little departments, and we all belong to the same sort of parent department. And so the parent-child theme thing works great for a university, because I can say, okay,